Have you ever wondered why your legs feel weaker even though you're doing all the right things? Eating well, staying active, and following every bit of health advice? Why do the stairs seem steeper now? Why does standing up from a chair take more effort than it used to? You might think it's just age creeping in, but what if something else is quietly working against you? Here's the surprising truth. The issue might not be what you aren't doing, but what you are, and you're likely doing it without even realizing it. Most older adults make a well-meaning mistake every single day, believing they're making a healthy choice, because, after all, we've been told since childhood that fruit is nature's candy. It's wholesome, it's good for you, and in many cases, that's true. But not always. Some fruits, despite their reputation, can actually be harmful, especially for those over 60. These seemingly innocent foods might be gradually weakening your legs, worsening joint inflammation, triggering knee pain, and making walking a challenge. What's often celebrated as a healthy snack could be contributing to imbalance, discomfort, and declining mobility. As we grow older, our bodies go through subtle but significant changes. Blood flow slows, metabolism becomes sluggish, and foods that once energized us may now do more harm than good. Especially certain fruits. They might look healthy and taste delicious, but their acids, sugars, and hidden compounds can quietly wreak havoc on blood sugar, circulation, and inflammation levels. And here's the kicker. You won't notice the damage right away. It builds slowly. One day, it's just a dull ache in your legs after walking. The next, your knees feel tight for no clear reason. Eventually, you wonder why your balance is off or why your legs feel heavy even after rest. Today, we're going to uncover the 7 fruits that may be secretly weakening your legs and making movement more difficult for seniors. These fruits might seem harmless or even beneficial, but once you know the truth, your fruit bowl might never look the same again. So if you value your strength, mobility, and independence, stick with me until the end. Your body might be waiting for this revelation. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you care about your health, because this is where we expose what no one else talks about. And if you're already watching and ready to learn, let me know by typing 1 in the comments. If it doesn't resonate, type 0. Your voice matters more than you think. Now, let's kick things off with the first fruit on the list. It's praised for its anti-inflammatory benefits, but it might be doing the opposite for aging bodies. Number 1. Pineapple. The tropical trap for aging legs. Pineapple. Juicy, sweet, refreshing. Hailed for its tropical flavor and its so-called healing powers. Especially due to an enzyme called bromelain, pineapple has earned its place as a superfruit in many people's minds. It's been praised for reducing inflammation, aiding digestion, and boosting recovery. But here's the twist that many don't see coming. Pineapple might be doing the exact opposite for older adults. That's right. While it looks like a gift from nature, pineapple could be undermining your strength one slice at a time. Why? Because behind that delicious sweetness is a surge of natural sugars and potent acids. And if you're over 60, your body no longer handles those ingredients the same way it once did. The blood vessels that support your legs, feet, and muscles become more sensitive with age. They don't respond well to sudden changes in blood sugar. When you eat pineapple, you're not just enjoying a sweet treat. You're giving your body a jolt of natural sugar. That spike can damage delicate blood vessels, especially the ones in your lower body. With repeated exposure, this leads to poor circulation, reduced oxygen delivery to your legs, and, eventually, symptoms like leg fatigue after short walks, a heavy, dragging sensation in your thighs, swollen ankles, and knee stiffness, even when resting. But that's not all. Pineapple's acidity adds another layer of trouble. It can irritate joints, especially for those already dealing with arthritis or inflammation. If you've ever noticed a burning sensation in your knees or ankles, or felt your legs get unusually heavy after eating pineapple, you're not imagining it. That acid can act like fuel on an already smoldering fire. And if you're taking certain medications, especially blood thinners, be extra cautious. Bromelain, pineapple's famous enzyme, can interfere with how your medications work, either making them too strong or not effective enough. But here's the scariest part. It happens quietly. There are no dramatic symptoms, No immediate flare-ups. Just a gradual loss of mobility, flexibility, and strength over time. Many seniors don't connect the dots. They think their legs are just getting old. But what if that morning fruit habit, or that pineapple dessert, is silently draining your vitality? That doesn't mean you need to banish pineapple forever. But you do need to be mindful, especially if you've been dealing with leg soreness, unexpected swelling, or ongoing joint discomfort. This fruit could be a silent contributor. So, if a fruit with anti-inflammatory fame can be this harsh on aging legs, what does that say about the next one? It's soft, it's sweet, and it's praised for fueling muscles with potassium. But it may not be as helpful as you think. Number 2. Bananas. The muscle imposter. Bananas. Soft, convenient, rich in potassium. For years, they've been marketed as the go-to fruit for muscle health, energy, and cramp prevention. From athletes to active seniors, everyone has heard, eat a banana, it's good for your muscles. But here's the hidden truth. Bananas might be doing more harm than good, especially for those in their 60s and beyond. Let's break it down. Bananas are loaded with fast-acting carbohydrates and natural sugars. While that might give a quick energy boost, it also causes a rapid spike in blood sugar. And as we age, our cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for managing those sugar spikes. What happens next? Inflammation increases, blood flow weakens, and your legs, already under pressure from aging, start to feel the impact. The result? Heaviness in your legs after eating. A dull ache when walking or climbing stairs. Stiffness in your calves. That strange sensation of your legs slowing down. But the issues don't stop there. Bananas can also cause fluid retention, especially problematic if you have heart issues or circulatory concerns. That retained fluid builds up in your lower body, leaving you with puffy ankles, tight joints, and sore feet. You might think you're simply tired or swelling from heat, but the truth could be sitting on your plate. Here's the real kicker. It happens quietly. No sharp pain, no dramatic symptom, just a slow erosion of strength and mobility. You eat bananas thinking they'll help. Instead, they may be silently draining your energy and flexibility. You don't notice at first, until walking becomes tougher, and everyday movement starts to feel like work. And don't be fooled by their size. Small as they are, bananas pack enough sugar to cause these issues over time, especially when eaten regularly. So, if your legs feel sluggish, tight, or painful and bananas are a frequent part of your diet, this fruit might be playing a bigger role than you thought. But what if an even smaller fruit could do more damage? Let's move on to something bite-sized, sweet, and beloved by many, but with a darker side when it comes to inflammation and joint pain. Number 3. Grapes, the tiny trigger for big trouble. Grapes, those juicy pop-in-your-mouth snacks that seem so innocent. They're small, sweet, and often praised for their heart-healthy antioxidants. But for seniors, especially those over 60, grapes might be silently stirring up inflammation, stiffness, and discomfort in the legs. What most people don't realize is that grapes are high in fructose, a natural sugar that's quickly absorbed by the liver. When your liver can't process all that sugar efficiently, it starts converting it into fat and uric acid. And this is where the real damage begins. That uric acid doesn't just disappear, it builds up in your joints, ankles, toes, knees. These are the areas that bear the brunt of the burden. If you've ever experienced a sudden sharp pain in your big toe at night, or felt a strange stiff tension in your calves after sitting, grapes could be a quiet contributor. Over time, the uric acid settles into the joints, causing that burning, swelling pain that makes even short walks uncomfortable. It's subtle at first, a pinch here, a twinge there, but eventually, the discomfort becomes part of your everyday life. And there's another layer to this. Fructose, especially in high amounts, doesn't just raise uric acid, it fuels systemic inflammation. That's the kind of chronic, low-level irritation that affects your entire body, slowing down your movements, tightening your joints, and making your legs feel heavier than they should. Part of the problem with grapes is how easy they are to overeat. Because they're light and bite-sized, you can snack on them for hours without realizing how much sugar you've consumed. A handful becomes 2, then 3, and with each handful, That sugar stacks up in your system, quietly stirring inflammation and joint stress with every bite. You think you're being healthy, choosing fruit instead of processed snacks, but your body might be paying the price. If you've been experiencing increasing stiffness, unexplained aches in your knees or ankles, or swelling that just won't go away, those sweet little grapes may be one of the culprits hiding in plain sight. Still, grapes aren't the only refreshing fruit that can lead you down this path. There's another one that's even more deceiving. It's bright, hydrating, and seems as innocent as a glass of water. But the truth is, it could be acting more like a sugar bomb than a source of refreshment. Number 4. Watermelon. The sweet illusion of hydration. Watermelon is the picture of refreshment. Light, juicy, and often associated with hydration. It seems like the perfect fruit for warm days and tired bodies. It's mostly water, low in calories, and feels almost weightless when you eat it. That's why so many seniors reach for it without a second thought. But what if this hydrating hero is actually contributing to leg fatigue, swelling, and hidden inflammation? Here's the part no one talks about. Despite its watery appearance, watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. That means it raises blood sugar levels rapidly, just like candy. And in aging bodies, that sugar spike doesn't pass through quietly. It triggers a chain reaction. Your body scrambles to release insulin, but as we grow older, insulin doesn't function as smoothly as it once did. The imbalance leads to inflammation, particularly in areas already struggling with poor circulation. And where does that inflammation settle first? The legs, the calves, ankles, and knees become the battleground. You may feel tired shortly after eating it. Walking suddenly feels like dragging weight behind you. That dull ache in your lower legs, the one that creeps in even after a short stroll, might not be a result of aging alone. It might be the watermelon you thought was helping you. Even more misleading is how easy it is to eat a lot of it. Because watermelon is refreshing and low in density, you often go back for another slice, then another. Before long, you've consumed enough sugar to give your body a metabolic jolt that it simply can't handle well anymore. The sweetness goes down easy, but the effects linger in your bloodstream, your joints, and your muscles. That sensation of swelling around your ankles? Or the discomfort you feel when climbing stairs? It may not just be your legs wearing out. It could be the hidden toll of what you believed was a light, hydrating snack, and this toll grows with time. Each slice feels harmless, but every day it adds up, fueling blood sugar fluctuations, stressing your circulation, and tightening your joints. Watermelon may not seem like the obvious villain, but its effects can quietly wear you down. If you've been reaching for it, thinking it's the perfect way to hydrate, it might be time to reconsider, especially if your legs have been feeling more tired, more swollen, or less reliable lately. And if something as gentle as watermelon can cause that kind of reaction, what happens when the fruit in question is known for being acidic and tangy? Next, we look at a staple in every breakfast table, a fruit synonymous with health and vitamin C, but it might be launching a silent acid attack on your joints. Number 5. Oranges. The citrus that strains your joints. Oranges are everywhere. On breakfast plates, in juices, in immune-boosting blends. Their scent is bright, their flavor is refreshing, and their reputation is stellar, especially because of their high vitamin C content. For decades, we've associated oranges with strength, defense against illness, and overall vitality. But for seniors, especially those battling joint discomfort and slow recovery, this fruit may be hiding something harmful beneath its sunny exterior. The trouble lies in the acid. Oranges are packed with citrus acids that, while beneficial in some ways, can quietly aggravate already sensitive joints. If your body is managing arthritis, inflammation, or simply the wear and tear of aging, that acid doesn't go unnoticed. It seeps into your system, irritating tissues, stirring stiffness, and amplifying aches. You may not notice it right away. It often begins subtly, an extra twinge in the knees when you wake up, a bit more soreness in the hips after sitting too long, a lingering tightness that wasn't always there. And then there's the sugar. Natural, yes, but still potent. Combined with the acidity, this sugar can cause fluctuations in blood glucose levels. In younger bodies, these shifts are handled smoothly. But in aging bodies, the spikes and crashes can lead to systemic inflammation, the kind that creeps into your legs and settles into your daily life. You might not suspect your morning orange juice or those slices you eat to stay healthy. After all, the messaging around oranges has always been overwhelmingly positive. But while they may still offer benefits, they can also be contributing to the exact stiffness, swelling, and fatigue you're trying to fight off. And the effects aren't always loud. They come quietly, like a slow erosion. Your knees grow heavier. Your ankles throb a little more after walking. The recovery time after simple movement stretches out longer than it should. It's easy to blame these changes on age alone. But if oranges are a daily staple in your diet, they might be part of the reason those movements have started to feel more burdensome. This doesn't mean oranges are evil, but it does mean they may no longer suit your body's needs the way they once did, especially if your joints are already strained and your circulation isn't what it used to be. And if something as wholesome seeming as an orange can cause that kind of damage, what about fruits that carry hidden acids and sugars beneath a crisp, clean appearance? Let's move on to one such fruit, often seen as the safer, less sugary option, praised for its tartness and fiber, but possibly leading to nighttime cramps, tight knees, and sore hips. Number 6. Green apples, the crisp culprit behind leg pain. Green apples look like the very picture of health. Crisp, clean, slightly sour, and not overly sweet. They seem like the smart choice, especially for seniors trying to reduce sugar intake. Many reach for them believing they're making the safer, more disciplined decision. After all, they taste sharper than red apples and seem more natural somehow. But beneath that fresh crunch lies a combination that might be quietly unsettling your legs and joints. The first issue is malic acid, the very compound that gives green apples their tartness. While it might be harmless, even helpful, for younger bodies with a strong digestive system, aging bodies don't respond the same way. Over time, the lining of the digestive tract becomes more delicate, more reactive. Malic acid, once processed without issue, can now irritate internal tissues, including those around your joints. You might notice it as a mild burning in your hips, a tightness in your knees, or a dull heat in the soles of your feet. These aren't dramatic symptoms, which is why they're often overlooked or attributed to general aging. But over time, as that acid slowly builds its presence in your system, the discomfort becomes more regular, more noticeable, more stubborn. And then there's the sugar. While green apples don't taste as sweet as their red cousins, they still contain natural sugars that, in an aging body, can lead to blood sugar fluctuations. That seemingly harmless afternoon snack could be quietly causing your calves to fatigue more quickly, your knees to feel stiff in the morning, or your legs to cramp when you try to sleep. What's more concerning is how casually green apples are consumed. Often eaten raw, sometimes right before bed, they stay in your system without much buffer, especially if they aren't paired with a fat or protein to slow absorption. That means the sugars and acids are delivered directly, with nothing to soften the impact. It's subtle, yes, but constant. And that makes it dangerous. You think you're choosing something light, something smart. But if your joints have been aching more, if your legs feel unusually sore after a short walk, or if your nights are interrupted by cramps and discomfort, that green apple habit might not be as friendly as it appears. But if this humble, everyday fruit can cause that kind of gradual decline, what about a fruit that's dramatically sweet, indulgently rich, and loved by almost everyone? A fruit that tastes like dessert and hits the body with an intense dose of natural sugar? Number 7. Mango, the sweet saboteur of joint health. Mangoes are the darlings of tropical fruit. Velvety, soft, intensely sweet, and bursting with flavor, they feel like a reward in every bite. It's no wonder so many people, including seniors, look forward to mango season. Whether eaten fresh, blended into smoothies, or added to desserts, mangoes feel like a natural delight. But the very thing that makes them so enjoyable, their sweetness, is also what makes them one of the most dangerous fruits for aging legs and joints. The truth is, mangoes are loaded with natural sugar. Not a small amount, either. They deliver a strong sugar hit that, in younger bodies, might be burned off quickly. But for those over 60, whose metabolism is slowed and insulin sensitivity has weakened, that same sugar surge can send the body into imbalance. Blood sugar rises sharply, then crashes, and each time that happens, inflammation quietly spreads. The inflammation doesn't always show up where you expect. It often creeps into the soft tissue around your knees, ankles, and hips. You may feel a slow burning sensation in your toes, a tingling that won't ease, or swelling in your feet that gets worse as the day goes on. The pain can start subtly, a heaviness in the legs, a dull fatigue after moving, but it grows, especially if mango is a regular part of your diet. One of the problems with mango is how easy it is to overindulge. Because it tastes light and refreshing, you might not realize just how much sugar you're consuming. A few slices turn into half a fruit. A smoothie becomes a daily ritual, and all the while, your body is dealing with the internal consequences of those repeated sugar spikes. The sweet taste masks the truth. Your joints are being stressed, your circulation is strained, and your legs are quietly losing their resilience. You might chalk it up to aging, assuming it's normal to feel heavier or less stable on your feet. But beneath the surface, the mangoes you love could be accelerating that decline. Many seniors eat mango with the best intentions, believing that natural means healthy. And while mango is certainly natural, that doesn't mean it's safe for everyone, especially not for those whose bodies are already dealing with weakened circulation, sensitive nerves, or joint degeneration. Now that you've seen the full picture, it becomes clear. 7 fruits, each one praised for its health benefits, can, under the right conditions, become agents of subtle but persistent harm for aging bodies. But this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a better one. Because just as there are fruits to avoid, there are also fruits that can help heal, strengthen, and restore. The right ones can reduce inflammation, support circulation, and bring lightness back to your steps. After uncovering the fruits that may be silently draining your energy and straining your legs, the question naturally follows, what can you eat instead? Because not all fruits are the enemy. In fact, some can be powerful allies, gently supporting circulation, easing inflammation, and helping your body regain strength and stability. Let's begin with berries. These small fruits carry immense power. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're rich in antioxidants and extremely low in sugar. Unlike the fruits that spike your blood sugar and stir inflammation, berries release their benefits slowly and steadily. They nourish your blood vessels, improve oxygen flow to your muscles, and help combat the stiffness that makes movement feel difficult. Their nutrients work behind the scenes, strengthening the very foundations of your mobility. Then there are cherries. They may be sweet, but in moderation, they can actually help reduce uric acid levels in the body. That means less pressure on your joints, fewer flare-ups of pain, and relief from the burning sensation that sometimes creeps into your toes or knees. A small handful is all it takes to provide gentle, effective support without overwhelming your system with sugar. And let's not forget avocado. Yes, it's a fruit, though it doesn't taste like one. It's rich in healthy fats that don't inflame the body, but rather cushion your joints and help reduce pain. Avocado supports insulin balance and keeps your energy steady. It doesn't cause spikes, crashes, or swelling. Instead, it gives your body what it needs to feel steady, strong, and well-fueled. Papaya, too, deserves a place at the table. Its soft texture and natural enzymes make it soothing for the digestive system, which, in turn, lowers inflammation throughout the body. For older adults, papaya can be a gentle friend, kind to the stomach, easy on the joints, and rich in vitamins that aid healing and comfort. And then there are pears. Mild in flavor and modest in sweetness, they provide a satisfying, hydrating bite without flooding your bloodstream with sugar. When paired with a bit of protein or healthy fat, they offer lasting energy, nourishing your muscles without weighing them down. Each of these fruits does more than simply satisfy a craving. They actively work with your body, not against it. They encourage smoother movements, lighter steps, and clearer mornings. They don't fight your body's natural changes, they support them. Choosing the right fruits isn't about giving up joy or flavor. It's about giving your body the kind of nourishment that allows it to keep moving, healing, and thriving. It's about eating in alignment with where you are now, not where you were 20 years ago. And when you start doing that, everything changes. Pain eases, swelling subsides. Your legs feel more reliable beneath you. But there's one final piece to this journey. A message just for you. A reminder of your power, your resilience, and the truth that it's never too late to begin again. If you've made it this far, it tells me something important. You care. You're not someone content to let time simply pass you by. You're someone who's paying attention. Someone who still believes in the possibility of change, of strength regained, of health restored. And I want to speak directly to that part of you, the part that's still reaching forward. It's easy to believe that growing older means accepting pain, slowing down, or letting go of the energy and freedom you once had. But that doesn't have to be the story. You are not too far gone. It's not too late. The aches in your knees, the heaviness in your legs, the quiet fear that maybe one day you won't be able to do the things you love, none of that has to define you. Because the truth is simple. Small choices make a powerful difference. You don't need extreme diets or punishing routines. You don't need to eliminate everything you enjoy. What you need is awareness. A shift. One meal at a time. One decision at a time. One fruit swapped for another. That's how change begins. The fruits we talked about, pineapple, banana, grapes, watermelon, orange, green apple, mango, they're not poison, but they might not serve your body the way they once did. And that's okay. Because aging isn't about loss. It's about adaptation. It's about learning what works now and honoring your body's changing needs with wisdom and grace. When you choose fruits that nourish your joints, support your circulation, and help your muscles recover, you're not just feeding your hunger, you're fueling your future. You're making it easier to stand tall, to walk freely, to move through your day with less pain and more confidence. And that's what it's all about. Not perfection, not restriction, but intention. So here's your reminder. Your strength hasn't left you. It's still there, waiting to be uncovered, rebuilt, and protected. Your legs carry your independence. They carry your freedom. They deserve your care. Now I want to hear from you. What stood out to you today? What's one change you're ready to make? Not because you have to, but because you want to feel better, move better, and live better? Let's support each other. Let's grow together. If this message opened your eyes, even just a little, let it be the start of something new. And as you go about your day, remember this. Every step you take toward healing, no matter how small, matters. So keep walking, keep choosing, and keep believing. Your journey isn't over. In fact, the best part might still be ahead.